up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be...
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Brooklyn Beats. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Brooklyn Beats. The wait is finally over. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis here in the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky, it's Dante Pettis. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football.
Here we go.
I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Completes it to Samuel. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here we go. 180. I'm coming after you.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Good job.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Robert Tonyan there to make the grab. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A nice little juke. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd down now, Mosley. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Jaworski Tartt came out of Samford University in Alabama, and he is a guy who is an absolute flash at the safety position.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll have a first down past the 40. And they rattle off a big one. And even 50 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
56. Mike, 56.
They'll look to throw here. He fights him off. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. On 2nd down, Madden. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce-back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that one makes it 14-7. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game. But it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Mixon with a first down carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. On 2nd and 12. Garoppolo. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo to mix it on the check down. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Hey, let's go. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now a give, right side. Mosley.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
11 yards there, first down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40. And a give this time to the tailback. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime. It's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. He's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there. 42 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
56 to Mike, boys. 56.
They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1 yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
So they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And that has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Now San Francisco are going to call their second timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Garoppolo looks to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he's got this down to the 35. 18 yards, first down Niners.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this will come up short.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. As far as the early games go on Sunday, we'll have our eye on Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. A big one for the Chiefs as they'll take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. In the late afternoon games, the place to be might very well be Denver, Colorado, where it'll be the Broncos taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And one more to highlight, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Here we go.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I'm coming after you.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On 1st down, Mixon. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Throwing on 2nd down. Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. Garoppolo on 1st down. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Garoppolo now. Got a man. It's Tanyan complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up?
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. And he's going to go down again. Eric Armstead, his 2nd sack of the night. Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the 4th. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. In your face. Mike 56. Mike 56. Tighten up. Tighten up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Wide open receiver complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Mike 51. Mike 51. Army. Army. Army.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Nick Bosa, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Ready.
They're going to look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter, and don't look now. They're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And San Francisco gets set to go here. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough 1st downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Here we go. 21. Here we go. Screen. Watch the screen. Check 13. Check 13.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 2nd down now, Mixon, and just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now Mixon. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mixon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The situation for them offensively as follows. Down 27-21. At time, a huge factor. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Back to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Breaking that one up was Justin Evans. Read it perfectly. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. Over 30 yards there. And 1st downs on 3 consecutive plays now. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. And he's in for the touchdown. And barring a miracle, the extra point can win this football game. They got the dramatic score to tie the game here late 4th quarter. Now all eyes resting on the foot of one man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And your brother called me before the game. That's his guy in fantasy. He needs this one badly.
So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead. So that drive, 4 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it It's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Brooklyn, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they obviously fall to 0-1.
Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest. No recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables. Now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it. That's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking. They don't even gotta say it. Nope. They ain't thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment.